Welcome to the online session, data structures using C++. Today's topic is queue data structure. What is queue? As you know that queue is a linear list data structure. It works on the basis of first in, first out. Which of the elements comes into the queue first, that will be solved first. As you know that queue is a linear list data structure, so all the elements in the queue are arranged in a particular order. So one end of the queue is called as front, on other end is called as back or rear. If you want to insert any element into the queue, it should be always done at the back end of the queue. If you want to insert any element, it should be done always at the back end of the queue. So if you want to remove any element, as you know that queue works on first in, first out. So if you want to remove any element from the queue, it should be done from the front end of the queue. So let us take the example, the bus stop. This is the bus stop. If any person comes into the bus stop, he is the person. He will be the first person, and the front person, and he will be the rear person. If any one more person comes into the queue for the bus, should be always next to this blue color person. So there is a new person, there is a green color person, next to the green color person. So this person will be green color person will be red person. If anyone comes, so last person will be your red person. You will be standing next to the green person. So any small guy will be the next to the topi wala. So he will be the red person. Now the camera. That is the last person. He will be standing in the last of the queue. So now who will be entering into the bus first? So the green color person, the blue color person will be entered into the bus. So he has gone into the bus. Now who will be the next person in the front of the queue? The green color person. Now will be the front. So next he has gone into the bus. Some new person came into the queue. That will be the black color picture you can see. He will be standing next to the armor guard. So he will be the back. This is how your queue works. What is ADT? Abstract data type of a queue. Queue is an abstract data type. So what is the abstract data type of the queue? So as you know that first we start with the instances. What are the instances? Instances of a queue is what? It's a linear list data structure, but ordered collection of elements. So one end is called as front, other end is called as back. Come to the operations. So operations are simple. So one is empty. So it returns true if queue is empty. It returns false if the queue is not empty. So next size. What is the size? So queue. Suppose queue has its own size, right? Queue has its own size. It returns the queue size. The return type of this size is what? Integer. It always returns number of elements in the queue. Next, front. What is meant by front operation? As you know that in the queue we have two pointers. One is a front pointer pointing to the front element of the queue. Other one is a back pointer pointing to what? Back end of the queue. So where the front pointer is pointing, it returns the element on the particular location in the front end of the queue. Next, I have a back operation. It returns the back element of the queue. Next, we have a pop operation. So removes the element from the front end of the queue. It removes element from the front end of the queue. And last one is push X. So it is going to insert or add the element into the queue at the back end of the queue. So we'll discuss all these operations in detail in the coming slides. So this is the ADT of the queue. So next we'll discuss what is the abstract class of the queue. So as you know that queue is an abstract data type. So it specifies only data and its operations. There is no implementation. So now it comes to abstract class. What is meant by abstract class? You are representing ADT of a queue using abstract class, nothing but class using class. So here I taken one template class T. So I taken a class name as a Q. So in this public area, I can have a virtual destructor. So before going for this in detail, so what is meant by abstract class? The class which contains pure virtual functions. The class contains the pure virtual functions. Then this type of classes are called as abstract class. So in the public area, we have virtual destructor. I cannot have a virtual constructor. Next, I have a empty operation. It has a return type as bool, and I have mentioned the virtual keyword, and it is a constant operation equals to 0. This is the syntax for virtual, pure virtual function. Next is size. Size, it has a return type as what? Integer, and again it's a constant operation. It is represented with a virtual keyword. So equals to 0 is again pure virtual function. Next, front operation. So it has return type as what? Written by reference, nothing but is of type T. So why front operation, it always returns an element from the front end of the queue. So the element can be of any type. It can be of integer or a character or a float. That's why we have taken class template T. That is template T. It can return data type, can be of any type. So again virtual. So it's again a pure virtual function. Next we have back operation. Again it runs a value. It's written by reference, is of type T, again virtual keyword, and equals to 0 is a pure virtual function. Next, we have a pop operation, no return type, again a virtual keyword, equals to 0. So it's a pure virtual function. Next, we have a pop push operation. So again, the push operation, it takes one argument. So which element you have to push into the queue at the back end of the queue? This is the element is of type T. So we use pass by reference to pass by reference to avoid copy operation. So it has no return type. Then again we mention with the virtual keyword. So equals to 0. So it's a pure virtual function. This is how the abstract class of the queue is. Next, how to represent a queue using arrays. So we can represent queue using a two ways. One is using arrays, another one using linked list. So in between we'll discuss the circular queue. We'll discuss all this data. First, how to represent the queue using arrays. Suppose the queue is empty. So we'll take the front and back will be equals to -1. If you want to represent using arrays. If it is not empty, let us take the array size as 8 and queue size is 3. This is the queue we are representing using array. So first element is what? A, second element B, third element C. So first element is what? A, that is pointed with what? Front pointer. Here the front pointer was the index of the array. Next, last element in the queue is what? C, that is back. It holds the index of the array. So what are the index of front is 0. What are the index of back? It is 2. So one thing you have to know, if you as you know that you can perform many operations on this queue. So as we discussed in the abstract data type, right? So in order to perform push and pop operation, so mainly we focus on push and pop operation here. So what is the time complexity for push and pop operation? It always takes big O of 1. So both push and pop operation, it always takes big O of 1. So we'll discuss all this in coming slides. Yes, look at this example. I have taken this example with a queue size as 3 with the elements A, B, C using an array size as 8. So I do the pop operation for this. How do you perform pop operation? First I need to delete the element A. Next I have to increment the friend. First I have to delete the element A. Then you have to increment the friend. As you know that friend operation can be done at the pop operation can be done at the front end of the queue, right? So that's what we did. So we have raised the first element, then we increment the friend. The friend becomes with the index is what? 1 is pointing to what? B element, and back with the index 2. The friend is pointing to what? B element. So first element in the queue is what? B. So next operation is what? I have to perform push operation. I want to push which element? The element. So if you want to push any element into the queue, it should be done always at the back end of the queue. So what we do? I have to increment back. increment back, then you have to insert for this example, right? So what we do in this, look at this. So increment back, then insert q front equals to t. Now q size will be incremented to what? 3. So that's what we need. So previously back was 0, now it is incremented. Now we have inserted the d element at index 3. That's what q of front. What is the q of, sorry, q of back? What is the q of back? It is 3. Now q of back equals to 3. Now q size will be incremented to what? 3. So next I want to perform pop operation for this same example. So how do you perform pop operation? So first we erase the element, then we increment the front. First what we do, delete q front. What was the q front? 1. Q front 1. Then front is incremented. Front equals to front plus 1. So it is incremented. Now what is the q size? Q size will be incremented by 1. So q size will become 2. Next, I want to perform push operation for the same example. So what we do, push operation, push can be done always at the back end of the queue. So what we do, increment back, insert element. Increment back, insert element. That's what we do. Increment back, then insert q of front. Front value is what? 4. Q of 4 is equals to what? E. Now increment the q size. Q size becomes how much? It is 3. So I want to perform pop again. How do you perform pop? Erase the element, increment the front. Erase the element C, which is the first element in the queue. It is C. So erase the element C with the index 2, then increment the front. So first erase, delete q front. Q front was how much? 2. So then increment the q front. Front equals to 2 plus 1. It is 3. So which is the first element in the queue? It is D. I want to perform push. So what is the push? So okay, before that, what is the q size becomes? Q size becomes 2. So I want to perform push operation next. Push F. So I want to insert F element into the queue. So where we insert the element F? At the back end of the queue. So how to insert the element F? Insert back. Okay, insert at the back. So first increment the front, okay, back, then insert element. So increment the back. Back equals to back plus 1. What is the back? Index 5. Now q of front, okay, back. What is the back? It is 5 is equals to f. So it should be back. So q size will be incremented plus q size equals to 3. So now q size increments to what? 3. So next I want to perform push G. So how to insert push D? Again, for the same example, I want to perform push operation, increment back, then insert G. Increment back, insert q of back. What is the back index? 6. Q of 6 is how much? It is G. You are inserting G. Now you are incrementing q size. So q size becomes 4. Again, I want to insert push H. How to insert push H? How to perform this push H? As you know that, increment back, then insert the element at index 7. So increment back, back becomes 7. So back equals to back plus 1. So insert q of back. What is the q of back? It is 7 equals to H. It is inserted. Then increment the q size. Q size becomes how much? It is 5. So this is how we are doing so many operations like this. So I want to perform one more operation, that is push operation. Is it possible to perform push operation? If I increment this, it will go away from the size of the queue, go away from the limit of the queue. So back becomes 8. It is out of the limit of your queue size. Now what we do? It says that your queue is full, but it looks like it is not full. Look at the front spaces is empty. Look at the front spaces, it looks empty. What we do? I want to shift all the elements towards left side by one place. Then you need to perform push operation. It's a costlier process. So how do you perform? Look at this. So what we need? So when we front equals to, okay, as I said, front equals to 3 and back equals to 7. So we cannot push further because back equals to array minus of 1. It says the queue is full, but the array is not full. Nothing but the array is not full, but there is space for additional element at the left hand of the array. That's what I said. So how to utilize this? So I want to perform the next push operation for this. So what we do? I'm going to shift all these elements towards left side. So shift all elements towards left side by 3 places, right? 3 places. So then I can perform the insert operation or push operation into this. So it's a costly process. So this shift increases the worst case time. So pop operation I can do big O of 1. So in this case I can directly pop the element. Look at the previous one. I want to perform push I operation. So what we did, we shifted all the elements towards left side by how many places? 3 places. Alright, that's what the push takes. The worst case it takes big O of array length. Big O of array length. So again I do the same operations for this. First push, how do you, okay, sorry, pop operation, how do you perform pop operation? Delete the element, increment the friend. Next, I want to perform push I. How do you perform push I? Increment back, insert the element I here. Next, push J, increment back, increase the element, sorry, insert the element J. Again, push K, increment back, insert the element K. Every time you keep on incrementing the queue size when you perform push operation. So I did like this. So again, I want to perform one more operation, push operation for this. It's again not possible. It says the queue is full. That is back equals to array length minus R1. It says the array is full. So what we do again, we shift all the element towards left side by one place. Then we can perform insert operation. It's a costlier process. So this shift increases the worst case time. Again, I said pop operation takes big O of 1 and push operation takes big O of array length. Why big O of array length? If it is filled at a shift element towards left side by one place, or depends on the number of empty spaces at the front end of the array. So it's a costlier process. So in order to overcome this, what we do, we go for circular queue. So we use one-dimensional array queue. So look at the array queue. I have taken an array with the array length is how much? 6. So I'm representing this using circular manner. This is how the circular queue looks. So here front and back is 0. Using a normal array, it was -1. Here the front and back equals to 0. Circular queue. So look at this. My front and the back index are pointer. Here the pointer value nothing but is what? Index. Is where it is pointing? It's pointing to index 0. Yes, array length is almost 6 and queue size is 0. So here the front end, okay, when we can say it is empty when front and back equals to 0. So what we do, the next operation. So I want to perform the operation as push A. So where do you perform the push operation? It will be done at the back end of the queue. What we do, I'm going to insert the back. I'm going to increment the back. Then I have to push the element. So how do you do? Increment back. Increment back, that is what back equals to back plus 1. One thing here is it is actually circular manner, so we are incrementing this back equals to back plus 1 modulo array length. I'll tell you why it is using a modulo array length, because it's going in a circular fashion. So I have to use this formula for this incrementing the pointer. So back equals to back plus 1 modulo array length. So why it is modulo array length? So once it is, suppose it is 5, the back value is 5. So next is what? 0. Index is 0. I have to go to from 5 to index 0. I have to rotate in circular fashion. So in order to go from index 5 to index 0, I have to use this modulo operation. Right? So that's why we use for this back equals to back plus 1 modulo array length. So what is the back value? It is 0. 0 plus 1 is how much? 1 modulo array length is how much? 6. 1 modulo 6 is how much? It is 1 modulo array length. Okay, 1 modulo 6 is how much? It is 1. So next what we do? We insert an element, the q of back. So q of back is how much? 1 is equals to a. So then increment the queue size. Queue size becomes how much? 1 now. This is how we did. So previously the back was 0, back was 0. We have incremented, back is 0 plus 1 is 1 modulo 6. Nothing but you will get 1. So q of back. So q of back is how much? 1 is equals to what? A. Now what is the queue size? Is 1. Next operation is what? Push operation, push B. So how do you perform push B? Again, same case, increment the back equals to back plus 1 modulo array length. So back equals to back plus 1 modulo RLN. Now back was how much? 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 modulo RLN is how much? RLN is how much? 6. 2 modulo 6 is how much? 2. So then what we do? Insert Q of back equals to Q of 2 equals to B. Then increment the Q size becomes 2. That's what we did. So back was at the index 1. So if I increment that back, okay, 1 plus 1 is 2 modulo 6 is how much? My back is how much? 2. So Q of back. This is my Q. Q of back is how much? 2. So is equals to what? B. So what is the RLA Q size? It becomes 2. Next operation is what? Push C. How do you perform push C again? Increment back. Increment back equals to back plus 1 modulo RLN. So 2 plus 1 is 3 modulo 6 again 3. So Q of back equals to Q of 3 is equals to C. Then increment the Q size. That's what we did. Increment the back. Then insert an element C. Increment the Q size. Now this is how it works. Where is my back? Back is at index 3. We have insert the element C. Next operation is what? Pop. So how do you perform pop? Here the reverse case, increment a friend, then erase the element. Pop operation. It should be very clear. So first increment the friend pointer, then erase the element A. That's what we did. Increment the friend. Friend equals to friend plus 1. Friend was 0. 0 plus 1 is how much? 1. Modulo RLN. Nothing but 1 modulo 6 is how much? It is 1. Then delete the or erase the element A. Then decrement the Q size. Now Q size becomes how much? 2. That's what we did. So friend was 0. 0 plus 1 is how much? 1 modulo 6 is how much? 1. Now friend is at 1 index. Now if you want to insert element D, so sorry, if you want to pop what we are erasing the element A. Now the Q size will be decremented. So this is how the circular Q looks. So what is Q size now? It is 2. Why? Because we have only 2 elements. Next, I want to perform push D operation. Push D. So push D means again increment a back. Back equals to back plus 1. So back was actually 3. 3 plus 1 is how much? Actually back was 3. Yeah, 3 plus 1 is how much? It is 4 modulo 6 is how much? 4. Then insert element. So already insert Q of back equals to D. Then increment the Q size. Now this is how your circular Q looks. Again, pop operation. What we do pop operation? Increment friend, erase the element, decrement the Q size. So again, same case. So in increment friend was 1 plus 1 is 2 modulo 6 is 2. Then erase the element at the index 2, that is the B element. Now decrement the Q size. This is how it looks. We have erased the element at the index 2. Next, push E. How do you perform push E? Increment back. Back equals to back plus 1 modulo RLN. So back is how much? 4. 4 plus 1 is how much? 5. 5 modulo 6 is how much? 5. So then insert the element. Increment the back. So back becomes equals to back plus 1. Nothing but 4 plus 1 is 5. Modulo 6 is 5. Then insert element Q of back equals to E. Q of 5 equals to E. So we have then increment the Q size. This is how your circular Q looks. Next, I want to perform push F. This case is very important. So push F. So we already reached the index 5. Next, I have to go for index 0, right? So what we do for push F operation, increment back. What is the back value? Back value is what? 5. 5 plus 1 is how much? 6. 6 modulo 6 is how much? It is 0. The remainder is what? 0. So what we did? So then we can insert an element at a back. What is the back value now? It is 0. Is equals to F. So then increment the Q size. So look at this. After index 5, it's going to index 0 after the push operation. So this is how we can say it is in circular manner. So we can say it is a circular Q. Now what is the Q size here? 4 and their length remains same, that is 6. So use the integer variables front and back. So front is one position counterclockwise from the first element. Just this is things what we discussed in the previous slides. I'm repeating all this. So back gives the position of the last element. Use front and back in the figures. So we are taken two examples here. So one is here. Let's look at this. This is a one circular cube. So front is at index 1, back is at index 4. This is one circular cube. And another one is what? Look at this. Front is at index 4 and back is at index 1. So this is how circular cubes looks like this. So after doing so many operations, the next I want to perform push operation. So this is a example I taken. This is an example. Where is my friend? Friend is at index 1, back is at index 4. So how do you perform push? Increment back, insert element. Increment back, insert element. How do you perform pop operation? Increment friend, erase the element. Increment friend, erase the element, right? Sorry. So push D, how do you perform push D? So we have incremented the back. So back is incremented. Then, so we are inserting a element D, right? So how do you perform pop? Then after inserting element, the queue size becomes what? 4. Okay. Next, I want to perform pop operation for this. How do you perform pop operation? So I take the same example. Pop means what? So what? First we increment the friend. So first we increment the friend. So where is the friend? Friend is here. Increment the friend. So how to increment? Then erase the element A. Right? Erase the element A. So we erase the element A. So next, I want to perform push operation. So what is the push operation? How do you perform push operation? So increment back, insert an element D. Push D. That is what push D. So next operation what? Pop operation. So yeah, I want to perform next is what? Pop operation. So why performing pop operation? You have to say Q is empty. When you can say Q is empty? When we can say Q is empty? So first I do pop operation. It comes here. Again one more pop operation. What we do? Friend, you have to increment friend. So friend equals to friend plus 1 modulo array length. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Modulo 6 is how much? 0. Increment, it is removed. Next, again pop operation, increment, friend, and erase the element. Now look at this. Look at this. Both front and back are equal to 1. Now it is empty. What is a common thing here? Before inserting any element into this circular cube, I have mentioned front and back equals to 0. But in this case, the front and back equals to 1. So in both the cases, okay, this is also empty. The previous also it was empty, front and back equals to 0 before inserting an element into the circular cube. Now, after doing so many pop operations, repeated pop operations, now the cube becomes empty. So you look at this position, front and back equals to minus 1. So front and back equals to 1. What is the common thing here? So when front equals to back, it says it is empty. When front equals to back, it says empty. This is the condition for empty case. So when the queue is constructed, it is empty. So initialize to what? Front equals to back. That's what I said. When Q was constructed, I have mentioned, so front equals to back equals to 0. But in this case, front equals to back equals to 1. So what is the common thing? In both the cases, it is front equals to back. So when we can say, okay, Q is empty when front equals to back. So when Q is full, when Q is full. Let us take example. This is an example I taken. So I do the push D operation. So how do you do perform push D operation? I have to increment back, insert element. I have increment back, insert element. Push E, increment back, insert element. Next push F, increment back, insert element. Look at what is the difference. Now front equals to back. It says what is the difference between a Q empty and a Q full. What is the difference between Q full and Q empty, right? So in this case, look at this. When series of acts causes a Q to become full. So when front becomes rear, ultimate front becomes back. But this is a confusion state. So when we can say queue is full. So we cannot distinguish between a full and empty operation. That's what both are saying the same cases. In the empty operation, I said front equals to back. In full operation, it's saying front equals to back. So when we can say it is full. So to avoid this difficulty, we will permit a queue to get full. So before pushing an element into the queue, we verify whether this will cause the queue to get full. So that's what, when we can say queue is full, when I increment the back equals to back plus 1 modulo Rn. If it is equals to front, we can say the queue is full. So when queue is full, we go for array doubling. So we'll discuss the array doubling in the next session. Thanks for watching.